your breath, your life's so meaningless. Torture remains encased in the mess. Blood starts to thicken as it enters through your chest. Veins and blood react as the dirt forms as one. Pain from below, death from above. A closed-in box as your loved ones gather round. Screams of agony lower to the ground.
He said it would be epic tonight. It's quite the strong word to describe a boring product. It wasn't even Damage Control after a terrible Survivor Series. He said this on Saturday. Monday Night Raw was anything but epic. It wasn't terrible, but it certainly wasn't epic. The John Cena Last Time Is Now semifinals. Don't worry, LA Knight fans. I'll let you down easy. Liv Morgan is back. Instead of giving us some tension or some frustration after what the Judgment Day has done or said about Liv Morgan in her absence, we got absolutely nothing from good old Sesame Street Levesque. And Braun Breaker cut the promo of his entire career and is indeed getting a WWE World Heavyweight Championship match against CM Punk. When and where? I will tell you tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the 1st of December. I already hear Santa Claus is on his way, man. He's getting ready. We're going to deliver the goods this month at the venue. And when I get there on this Monday night, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Monday Night Raw post show for December 1st, 2025. I'm your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys so very much for joining us, or me, on this Monday evening, wherever you may be. No intro. It's gone. Long-term booking will return when we get a new intro made. I am not giving Triple H the praise that we once used to give him. It is all over. We need a better product, we need changes, and we need less Sesame Street. After a terrible Survivor Series, which I still had people in my mentions, I still had people in my comment section saying that it was a fine show, it was a good show, I was sports entertained. I don't give a shit what you were, what you liked, or what you thought. I didn't give a shit. The show was awful. 46,000 people at Petco Park in San Diego, and the show was one of the worst Survivor Series of the last decade. And one of the worst Survivor Series that Triple H has ever been a part of, honestly. He promised, I will read the quote, which came from Saturday's WWE very confined and very narrative-driven Survivor Series post-show where they invite no media and they let the fans chant what they want to give them at least some voice, yet they don't listen to them, nor do they care about what they say. Triple H promised an epic Raw. So many questions. So many unanswered things. Who was the masked man? All of the things that you want to come away from not being answered are sitting there right in front of you. Monday night is going to be epic. This is what he said on the Survivor Series post-show. Chat, did we get any further in the who is the masked man that helped the Vision win War Games at Survivor Series? Did we get any further in finding who that was? The answer is no. The answer is no. WWE is now seemingly playing off the rumor of people thinking it is Seth Rollins. They are running with the narrative. They are running with the story that Seth Rollins is the guy that the locker room was seeing before he actually made his way out to help the Vision win. Why doesn't this make sense, chat? Does WWE, does Triple H take us to be a bunch of fucking idiots? This doesn't work for one very, 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 very simple reason. Why would Seth Rollins vacate the World Heavyweight Championship only to then get beat up by his ex-stablemates to then make somewhat of a miraculous recovery or, worst case, fake another injury? Why would he come back in either of those situations to help the guys who kicked him out of his own group? Why would he help them win War Games over his mortal enemy, CM Punk? Does WWE really think that we're fucking stupid? The fact that they're even running with that as a possible story is utterly ridiculous. Like, I don't understand the thought process. I don't understand the vision, no pun intended. I don't really understand why they take their audience to be a bunch of fucking fools. None of it makes sense. It's not Seth Rollins. You can have Adam Pearce send the fucking FBI to go investigate who the masked man was. It wasn't Seth Rollins. That was the big question coming out of Survivor Series, and we got absolutely fuck all about who the masked man was. Maybe the masked man, they're waiting on it because they made a major announcement tonight. Being that Braun Breaker pinned CM Punk inside the men's War Games, it is now official. Braun Breaker, after pinning CM Punk at Survivor Series, will get a one-on-one match on January 5th, 2026 for the World's Heavyweight Championship against CM Punk on Monday Night Raw, celebrating 1 year of Raw on Netflix. Maybe the Masked Man will reveal himself then, being that Punk isn't going to be on TV for a few weeks after they didn't medically clear him to even be in the building tonight. WWE is going to really slow burn this mystery attacker. And they're really going to slow burn a lot of everything until we get to that big January 6th, which at that point, they'll still slow burn and give us nothing but key buzzwords and hype and deliver on absolutely nothing. Just like they did last year with the debut of Netflix. Triple H said this Raw was epic, chat. This was anything but epic. This was not an epic show. You may think it's epic. I'm sure there's some fucking geek out there that thought that this show was epic. You and I have very different definitions of fucking epic. It's not epic. That doesn't mean it was a bad show. It was an uneventful show, but it wasn't epic. It was decent. In some sense, I don't want to say it was better than Survivor Series, but looking at how Survivor Series just fucking flopped and shit the bed, I don't even think it would be a hot take to say that this show was better than Survivor Series. PLEs are nothing more than glorified fucking Monday night, Friday night shows anyway, branded as premium live events. They're anything but premium. There really wasn't anything major that happened on tonight's show. But I will start with this, and then we'll get into the breakdown of what happened tonight. Braun Breaker. I have had people tell me, because of my opinion on the product, Braun Breaker is not ready. Braun Breaker is overrated. Braun Breaker is not as good as everybody makes him out to be. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know how you look at the promo tonight that Braun Breaker cut in front of a live audience with his Vision stablemates behind him now, which I'm not sure if you guys are aware, Logan Paul is now a part of the Vision, which I actually like. I think he fits the group very, very well. I don't know how you look at Braun Breaker, cut that promo, and say that he is not ready. Imagine after listening to that, still thinking that Braun Breaker is not ready for the World Heavyweight Championship. If this company needs anything, it's fucking change. If this company needs anything, it needs to take risks. If this company needs to do anything, it is go young. Go for the youth, the future of the company. And I mean that in absolutely no disrespectful way for CM Punk or towards CM Punk. CM Punk is great, but let's be honest. CM Punk is only champion because Seth Rollins is injured. And I said it then and I'm going to say it now. Giving Punk a token championship that he was never supposed to win anyway. Giving him a token championship run because his arch nemesis is injured doesn't really make for a special CM Punk world title run. So right off the rip, I wasn't into it anyway. And right off the rip, I don't think CM Punk deserves to be a secondary champion. WWE needs to take risks. They want to shoot these WrestleMania vignettes with going all in on Las Vegas again. It's not the same attitude that Triple H takes when he's booking the fucking product. The guy is as safe as anything, man. Paul Levesque is Sesame Street Levesque. You might as well get Bert and Ernie to be on the fucking creative team. That's how fucking safe he is. Going all in, double or nothing on Las Vegas. Meanwhile, Paul Levesque is the type of guy that sits to the fucking penny slots all night hoping to win $20 so that he could go buy himself a fucking ginger ale and fucking Coke. He don't even drink. I'm just saying. That's how safe he is. Or ginger ale and rum. What was it? Ginger ale and Coke? Listen, man, he ain't hanging out with Tony Khan, okay? He ain't hanging out with Tony Khan. Ginger ale and rum. That's the type of guy he is. Safe. WWE on January 5th needs to belt Braun Breaker. They need to put the World Heavyweight Championship on Braun Breaker. He needs to beat CM Punk in New York City at the Barclays Center. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's what he needs to do. That's what Triple H needs to do. I don't know if you guys heard the rumor. I don't know if you guys were listening to Dave Meltzer. Supposedly, the rumor is CM Punk will defend the World Heavyweight Championship against Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes will defend the WWE Championship against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. 2 thumbs down. WrestleMania is already shitting the bed with those 2 proposed matches. First of all, we don't need to wait 4 fucking months to get Braun Breaker a World Heavyweight Championship match, being that he's got one on January 5th. You crown him then. You don't wait till fucking April 19th to crown Braun Breaker. Way too long. There's nothing else that needs to be done. There's nothing else that needs to be told. There's nothing else that needs to be said. Braun Breaker should win the World Heavyweight Championship. And don't get me started on Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, Part 3. That don't make sense at all. I'm not saying that a third match wouldn't work, because the first 2 matches were fucking great. But do you genuinely think that after what they did at WrestleMania 40, you're going to be able to follow up what you did at WrestleMania 40? You got to be out of your fucking mind to even think about touching what you did at WrestleMania 40. Leave it alone. It doesn't need to be redone. You cannot write the perfect closing chapter to Cody's story. Cody's story is finished with Roman. The only way Cody and Roman 3 works is if Cody goes heel. And I don't think WWE is ready for that. They can't even do the simplest of things and take the fucking smallest of risks. You think they're going to turn Cody Rhodes heel to wrestle Roman Reigns at WrestleMania? The only way it makes sense is if Cody Rhodes goes heel. If Cody Rhodes sells his soul to The Rock. You're really opening up a fucking can of worms that I don't know if WWE is ready to open up. First of all, you got to turn Cody heel. Second of all, you got to trust The Rock to make TV to make it make sense. No. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work as is. I don't know why you just don't go with what everybody wants to see instead of doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. This company is afraid. Stop being afraid. What the fuck are we waiting for? Braun Breaker wins the World Heavyweight Championship on January 5th from CM Punk. CM Punk goes on to win the Elimination Chamber in Chicago. CM Punk challenges Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship in the main event of Night 2 of WrestleMania. That's it. And if by chance, Seth Rollins is ready to come back, CM Punk should win the Royal Rumble. Seth Rollins should win the Elimination Chamber. Your 2 main events for WrestleMania should be Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker for the World Heavyweight Championship and CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. That's it. I don't know what else needs to be done there. What else do we need to do? You're factoring Roman Reigns into a championship situation, and the guy barely works 6 matches a fucking year and makes 12 appearances. Why would you even put Roman Reigns in a title discussion? Triple H just said on Saturday's post-show after Survivor Series, Roman Reigns is greater than a championship, and symbolically compared him to The Undertaker, where he transcended the business. Roman Reigns went through 1,300 days, 1,400 days as world champion. What makes you think anybody wants to see a part-timer in Roman Reigns hold a championship that he would barely be on TV to show off? I don't understand that. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes is the answer. That's it. Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker is the answer. That's it. And if Braun Breaker is the champion and Rollins does not factor into WrestleMania, then Braun Breaker versus Roman Reigns is your night one main event. Stop playing it safe. Start building the future. And start trusting your talent. After tonight, I don't know how anybody's going to look at Braun Breaker anything but World's Heavyweight Champion. That's it. That's all you need to do. That was the major announcement. We'll talk about the rest of this show, which included the semifinals of the Last Time Is Now tournament. LA Knight versus Jey Uso. And Gunther versus Solo Sikoa. And then we got the women being showcased tonight, being led by Liv Morgan, who returned at Survivor Series to help Dominic Mysterio defeat John Cena and regain the Intercontinental Championship. WWE is going to slow burn Liv Morgan and Dominic being booted out of the Judgment Day because they really didn't forward anything coming out of Survivor Series and once again played it very safe. And there's a lot of highlight and a lot of spotlight on the women, especially in the tag team division. Makes me think that WWE is almost threatened by AEW's focus on women's tag team wrestling. WWE hasn't focused on women's tag team wrestling in a very long time, and now all of a sudden we see a plethora of teams vying for the tag team championship. It's funny how that works out. We'll go over tonight's show, which I thought was a decent show. It wasn't epic like Bossman had said it was going to be. But coming out of Survivor Series, this company needs to do something and something quick. There's no other PLEs for the rest of the year. We have this week and next week, and then John Cena retires next Saturday. That's what they're focused on. They could have used this time to build up some NXT talent. Showcase some NXT talent. Start giving us names that are going to be on that show, wrestling main roster stars. WWE should now slowly be integrating some NXT talent into their program so we know exactly what's going to be showcased on December 13th. Instead, it was more of the same, more slow burning, and WWE not really answering the hottest questions coming out of Survivor Series because they got some sort of fucking timeline for when they deem it's going to be ready. Meanwhile, we don't know when it's going to be ready because the company never gives us anything substantial to fucking sink our teeth into. They just leave us waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And then by the time they give us the answers to something, nobody gives a shit. Thank you guys for joining me on this Monday night. We're going to get into it tonight's live. This is your Monday Night Raw post show for December 1st, 2025. I want to thank you guys for a tremendous weekend. Survivor Series numbers were some of the best all year. 63,000 views, almost 3,000 likes, 35-minute watch time, almost 600 comments. You guys killed it. And we had 4,800 people. The number was actually 4,800 people live on Saturday night. So you guys killed it. Thank you very much for all the support. We're going to blaze through this cold December, and we got a lot of stuff coming up. I also want to thank everybody for your overwhelming support on Tuesday Night Titans, which we will be live tomorrow. It should be a very good show tomorrow. If you guys want to hear us collectively shit all over WWE, it's going to be an epic Tuesday Night Titans, episode 123 with the Solid Monster tomorrow night. Last week, we had a 53-minute watch time. I don't know what other live stream that you currently watch, review, and do post shows on WWE and AEW that's even nearing half of that. A quarter of that, never mind half. The community is weak. The community is the same old shit. The community is fucking lame and boring. You know who's not boring? The two dudes on Tuesday night that got a fucking epic 53-minute watch time per viewer. No one is doing that. Thank you. Jason and I appreciate it. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Go check out all the content on the channel. All on the homepage. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of Monday Night Raw. Tonight we're sponsored by Blue Chew. BlueChew.com, code JD at checkout. Make sure you guys use that promo code JD at checkout. All you guys got to do is pay the $5. Shipping and handling. Monday night. You'd think we start with Bron Breakker, who pinned the most important guy on the fucking show, the World's Heavyweight Champion. We don't start with Bron Breakker. We don't start with Division. We start with Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. Io, apparently she injured her shoulder inside War Games. Don't know if it's a worked injury or it's a legit injury, but she couldn't do her thing. Her little pose, her little meme, where she points the fingers at herself. So they start with the women. Two of these women here, Io and Rhea, were a part of the absolutely weakest War Games match of all time. I mean, if you wanted Sesame Street, look no further than that women's War Games. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. I'm going to end up repeating myself here and then again on Tuesday with the Solid Monster. That did not need to be inside a War Games. It would have actually been more story-driven if WWE gave us a traditional 5-on-5 elimination Survivor Series match between all 10 women. The women's blood and guts match was infinitely better than the WWE version of whatever the fuck they gave us on Saturday night. Rhea's in the ring. She welcomed everybody to Monday Night Rio. Not Riho. Nobody gives a shit about Riho. Rio. Ripley is explaining how they won the war at War Games on Saturday, if you even want to call it war. It's actually quite offensive to even describe it as war. It's not. It's basically you going to the fucking playground and playing in the fucking sand dunes. That's what they did on Saturday night. But the fight isn't over because the Kabuki Warriors betrayed her best friend Io. And now Rhea Ripley wants the women's tag team championships. Now, while Io and Rhea want the tag team championships, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, they come on out. And they're out there instead of the Kabuki Warriors. So they make their way to the ring. They get into the ring, and Bliss wanted Rhea to pump the brakes on going after the tag team titles, since Charlotte and Alexa are still owed a rematch for the tag team championships themselves. Now, normally I would disagree, but the fact that Nia Jax and Lash Legend interfered and cost them the championships just by storyline purposes or situation here, I wouldn't even say it's a storyline. It's giving them too much benefit of the doubt. For the angle that they cut, it does seem very likely that Alexa is correct. They deserve a shot at the tag team championships before Rhea and Io Sky. So, Rhea invited Charlotte and Alexa to get to the back of the line because they've already lost to the Kabuki Warriors. Maybe Rhea forgot how they actually lost that match and those titles. So this, of course, leads to Alexa Bliss challenging Rhea and Io tonight in a tag team match. Well, why don't you show us who the best is? There was a friendly challenge between all four babyfaces, and this match was made for the main event. I don't know why this was the main event. I'm not going to question. WWE loves their women's division. They didn't love their they don't love their women's division enough, being that they put them in War Games, but they love their women's division. Adam Pearce, after what we saw in the ring, made this tag team match for the main event official. Ivy Nile. Who? The one with the creeds, right? Who? Oh, the two Olympic wrestlers. Does anyone know where they are? Oh, they're on main event. They're on main event. I'm being told main event. Where does that air again? Hulu. Tubi. It doesn't matter. Nobody watches it. If you watch it, I would assume you have some serious mental deficiencies, honestly. Ivy Nile. She demanded a title shot against Maxine Dupree for the Intercontinental title. She says she deserves the opportunity. Chat, when was the last time that Ivy Nile won a match of any sort, of any kind on Monday night? Can we go look? Should we go look? Just for shits and giggles, I want to look at how Maxine Dupree and Ivy Nile needs to happen, says Ivy Nile, because Ivy Nile deserves an Intercontinental Championship match. Let's see. She's got a 6.47 rating on Cage Match. I'm sure she gives a shit about what the fat virgin slobs on cagematch.net say. See what Ivy Nile's been up to. The last time that Ivy Nile wrestled on Raw was back on June 16th, 2025. Queen of the Ring, first round fatal four-way. She lost the match against Asuka, Raquel Rodriguez, and Stephanie Vicaire. There you go. She's wrestled on main events, she's wrestled on house shows, and she's wrestled on NXT house shows as well. And she wrestled a dark match against Natalya in October, right before SmackDown. She says she deserves an Intercontinental Championship match against Maxine Dupree. It's interesting. I mean, that would make me... I guess that would make me the number one contender for Ilya Dragunov and the United States Championship. Or the number one contender for Dominic Mysterio and the Intercontinental title. Is that how it works? You just go up to the general manager and ask for a title match and use words like deserve it, I've earned it. And then I look at cagematch.net where the Virgin Geeks gave her a 6.47 rating, and she hasn't wrestled since fucking June. Yes, thanks a lot for that, Triple H. That's Academy Award-winning writing right there. Fantastic. Adam Pearce says that he will make the match once Maxine is done training with Natalya. Pearce turns around to find Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman. Apparently, they pled ignorance as to the identity of the masked man that interfered in War Games. Paul Heyman would rather discuss the implications of Braun Breaker pinning CM Punk inside the War Games. Now that he deserves a number one contenders match for the World Heavyweight Championship, he wants to talk about when this is going to happen. So they go into his office and they discuss the logistics of it. Jey Uso. He goes one-on-one with LA Knight. This is the semifinals of the Last Time Is Now tournament. So we got Jey Uso yeeting his way into the ring from the mezzanine like he usually does. You know, I still find it to be very, very, just very tone deaf. And you can see what the War Games matches have kind of boiled down to in WWE, degenerated into in WWE. This guy was yeeting atop the cage. Or as Solomonster says, he was doing sexual acts to the War Games cage, on top of the cage, while yeeting during the match. I don't know why or how they thought that yeeting and doing the let's run the fucking theme music back during the match, I don't understand how they thought that was appropriate for a match that is contested inside War Games. There was no violence inside War Games, but we got yeets and sexual acts, apparently, on top of the War Games cage. The company is fucking tone deaf. But as long as Nick Khan's son front row had a good time, what the fuck does it matter to me? Doesn't matter to me, right? Doesn't matter to us. WWE, there was a lot of people that were convinced that WWE was going to go with Jey Uso and Gunther again in the final. I'm here to tell you, you don't have anything to worry about. Our days of Jey Uso and Gunther are hopefully over. LA Knight stands victorious, and he wins the right to lose to Gunther next week, or actually Friday. Not even next week, Friday. Finals take place on SmackDown. He wins the right to fail against Gunther on Friday Night SmackDown. This wasn't bad. They got you with a close near fall. They at least teased, WWE did, going to the Jey Uso Gunther route. They thought that it was funny to at least tease Jey Uso winning after his signature spots. But LA Knight pulled out a very, very out-of-nowhere flash finish. So they go right for their finishes at the start of the match. The bell rings. Uso goes for a spear. LA Knight dodges out of the way. Uso goes into the turnbuckle. LA Knight then charged in for a BFT. And both guys had a stalemate of finishing maneuvers early on. So they went right for the kill. So after hitting a dive onto the floor, Uso knocks LA Knight down, and we go into a commercial break. We come back from the break. Uso's fighting his way out of a superplex attempt. Both guys exchange punches before tumbling to the floor. Referee started counting them out. Crowd counted along. They made it to the apron. Uso sent Knight into the ring with a big move. Knight hits a beautiful burning hammer. Not really a burning hammer. It's more like a WWE sterile version of a burning hammer. They're not going to drop someone on someone's neck like a traditional burning hammer, but it's at least close enough, and it looks good. So LA Knight hit his version of the burning hammer. Uso gets up after a near fall, hits a spear. Knight kicked out at a 2. There was a spot up top. Uso was on the top turnbuckle, and LA Knight does that jump from the ring all the way up to the turnbuckle spot to do the superplex, and he slipped. He didn't fall or anything. He just kind of missed the top rope, and he kind of regained his leverage by stepping onto the second turnbuckle and then climbing up top and then delivering the superplex. So it was a beautiful superplex. He at least finished the move the way that it needed to. The execution of it wasn't there. But after he delivered the superplex, instead of selling the effects of the superplex, Jey Uso decided to throw a hissy fit and start punching the mat like he was frustrated at the spot not going the way that it was supposed to. LA Knight came over and covered him after said superplex, and Jey Uso kicked out. I don't know what the fuck that was about. I don't know what was going on there, but the guy doesn't need to show his emotions that heavily in the ring. LA Knight fixed the fucking spot. He regained his leverage. He finished the spot in a safe and effective way, and Jey Uso continued to cry like a fucking baby in the middle of the ring and start pounding the fucking mat as if he was frustrated at the fucking way. How do you think LA Knight feels You didn't see any frustration on LA Knight? The fuck are you frustrated about? Very, very bizarre. Very weird. So after that spot, Uso escaped LA Knight's finish. He went for the BFT. He rolled him up, hit a spear, hit a suplex, and a splash. He then went for the cover, but did the cover where he laid on his back, and LA Knight rolled him up, seeing the opening, and he delivered a crucifix and got a flash pinfall on Jey Uso. LA Knight beats Jey Uso, and he moves on to wrestle the winner of Solo Sikoa and Gunther later on. He finds himself in the finals. Now, we can sit here and go over how this John Cena last time is now a tournament is a fucking fail. One of the most uneventful happenings on WWE television all year is this entire fucking tournament. They didn't take any risks. They didn't go young. They didn't go and give us a surprise outside of Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder, and Dolph Ziggler. There was one NXT talent in Javon Evans, and that was it. The company is so unfun. It is so sad to see. Honestly. LA Knight winning this is the right move. WWE could have ill-afforded Jey Uso and Gunther in the final. If WWE gave us Jey Uso in this spot to beat LA Knight, not only would you have upset the LA Knight fans and disrespected them badly, but man, you would have shit all over your fucking audience. There's not one singular human being that wanted to see another Jey Uso and Gunther match. Oh, but JD, how do you know Gunther was going to be Solo Sikoa? Bro, Gunther's going to win this entire fucking thing. People said it from the word go. No reason to believe that Solo Sikoa was going to beat Gunther. They only did that as... They tried desperately to give you a what if. Well, what if we get Jey Uso and Solo Sikoa? We got family brothers going at it for the right to wrestle John Cena. No, that would have been awful. That would have been... And none of those matches are worthy of John Cena's last match. I'm sorry. So LA Knight wins the right to lose to Gunther. I'm sorry, LA Knight fans. At least your guy made it all the way to the end. Maybe he'll do a little bit better in the Royal Rumble. Maybe he'll get an elimination or two. This is not a surprise. If you're an LA Knight fan, if you're an LA Knight enthusiast, if you're one of these geeks that are running the LA Knight fan pages on social media, there is legitimately nothing to be upset about. You and me and everybody else knew exactly what was happening here. If LA Knight wasn't in the final, Gunther would have still won the entire thing anyway. Now that LA Knight is in the final, I'm here to tell you that LA Knight is not going to beat Gunther, and Gunther is going to win the final of the John Cena last time is now tournament. Because Gunther is the better match. Simple as that. Now, we don't really know if John Cena is going to beat Gunther or lay down for Gunther. Gunther doesn't need it. The fuck does he need to beat John Cena for? It would go against everything that John Cena would probably want. He wants to put over the younger guy. He wants to put over somebody that the company has put a lot of fucking stock into. But it's not really set in stone that John Cena is losing his last match. I mean, he lost to Dominic Mysterio. So we could see John Cena beat Gunther and have him ride off into the sunset with a W. I don't think that's going to be the case, though. I think Gunther is still going to win. And John Cena will give us a speech and a thank you, and then he will say goodbye. But this tournament was basically given to Gunther. And on the way there, after 4 matches, a predictable, uneventful, no fun to be had, no surprises to be found tournament. A tournament that saw The Miz wrestle twice. And just by that and that alone, this tournament was a fucking fail. We'll talk about that more on Tuesday night. Because I was very upset about how the company just absolutely takes their audience to be a bunch of fucking idiots. And if you think that the WWE creative team is going to fare any better in 2026, they had an easy fucking layup with this tournament, and they still fucked it up. This tournament is a glaring example of how 2026 will be more of the same for WWE. LA Knight wins. After the match, Jey Uso sat in the corner. He looked all depressed and down on his luck. Crowd gave him an applause for a very hard-fought match here with LA Knight. He dropped out to the floor. He starts banging his head against the commentary table in front of Wade Barrett and Joe Tessitore. And then he starts flipping the Prime Energy station upside down. He knocks the whole card over. He starts throwing the card around. He starts throwing the steel steps around. This wasn't Bret Hart after he got eliminated from Stone Cold Steve Austin at the 1997 Royal Rumble where he destroyed the ringside area. This wasn't that. But we are now to believe that Jey Uso is frustrated. Again, I don't really know what's going on there. This is the second attempt that WWE is trying to give Jey Uso an interesting aspect. First, it was showing some heel tendencies against LA Knight and CM Punk and his brother Jimmy because everybody thought he was becoming a little Roman. Very defiant. He was acting very tribal chief-esque. And now all of a sudden he's down on his luck. He's dejected. He can't win. Maybe those titles would look better on Roman. They're certainly not going to look good on me. Bro, I don't feel bad for you. WWE wants us to feel bad for Jey Uso, chat. Do you feel bad for Jey Uso? I don't. Jey Uso has been handed everything anybody would fucking die for, kill for this year. Main event of WrestleMania, won the Royal Rumble, teamed with John Cena at Money in the Bank, wrestled alongside Roman in War Game. I mean, the guy has been all over the fucking place. The guy has been all over the place. You want me to feel bad for him because he lost to LA Knight? Bro, step aside and let others shine in that spotlight. You didn't need to be there, and everybody agrees you didn't need to be there. Pack it up, take a vacation, enjoy the holidays, come back, and enter yourself in the Rumble. Like I said, he's better off in a fucking tag team. Bayley and Lyra. They asked Adam Pearce about getting into the tag team title scene. Everybody wants a title shot nowadays without actually doing anything to earn a title shot. Pearce kind of blew them off, and he wanted to wait and see the results of the tag team match later tonight between Charlotte, Alexa, Rhea, and Io. Asuka and Kairi Sane walk into frame, and they actually blamed Bayley. This was funny. They blamed Bayley for their War Games loss because Bayley told them, no, I will not team with you at War Games. And Asuka is blaming Bayley, saying that if Bayley was on the team and said yes, they would have beaten Rhea and Io and AJ Lee's team. So Asuka starts calling Bayley a stupid idiot. Bayley called them idiots. So this was basically a foreshadowing of what was to come later on in the evening with all of the women's tag teams getting involved with each other. The Judgment Day. They're out there, and we get Liv Morgan back on Raw. Liv Morgan is on Raw. Liv Morgan back in the WWE Women's Division on Monday night is a very good thing. Though it does make the SmackDown division look even worse now because Liv Morgan is a star and SmackDown doesn't have any. Charlotte and Alexa are operating more on Monday than they are on Friday. Meanwhile, we get Jade Cargill versus B-Fab and Jade Cargill versus Michin on Friday. Oh, man, I can't wait. Said no one alive and breathing. Judgment Day, we're standing in the ring. Dominic is out there with both championships. He says he beat the greatest of all time, which makes him the greatest Mysterio of all time, the greatest luchador of all time, and the greatest IC champion of all time. He says he couldn't have done it without JD I know, bro. Listen, I was a massive help to Dominic Mysterio winning the Intercontinental title. Finn Balor, Roxanne Perez, and Raquel Rodriguez. The amount of times that we were given tension between Finn and Dom, and now everything is peaches and cream here. Back and forth, back and forth. 2 years of this shit. When are we getting some fucking storyline progression? When are we nearing the end of the tunnel here? Now he's thanking them after there's been nothing but fucking tensions and disagreements, secrets, no trust. So he thanked everybody. And there's one person in particular he definitely could not have done it without. And that is Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan comes out. She gets a great reaction. She looks good. She always looks good. Liv came out, microphone in hand. She said nobody saw her coming, especially John Cena. Dominic said they knew Cena was going to figure out their plan, so Liv entered the picture. Liv said she missed his face, Dominic's face, so much. She told the other members she's happy to be with them again. But she said since she was gone, she heard some things about the Judgment Day. I've been hearing the Judgment Day is weak. I've been hearing the Judgment Day has lost its gold. I heard the Judgment Day is falling apart. But all of that changes now. She says they're coming for everything that is theirs. She said as of now, the Judgment Day officially runs Monday Night Raw. She told Dom that she had one more thing to say. She slapped Dominic in the face, leapt into his arms, kissed him, and hugged him, and the segment came to a close. Now, the one thing that I was fixated on here, besides Liv and those shorts she was wearing, was Roxanne Perez and the shorts that she was wearing. I kid. Was Roxanne Perez. There was a moment where I looked at Roxanne. It almost looked like she was hiding behind Dominic Mysterio. Now, I didn't really get a glimpse of the other members of the Judgment Day. I think when Liv said that they were weak and that they were falling apart, J.D. McDonough was like, no, I don't know where you heard that from, kind of body language. Am I disappointment or am I disappointed? Do I have some disappointment in the fact that we got Liv Morgan back and then she helped Dominic Mysterio beat John Cena where the Judgment Day failed. She shows up on Raw and basically cuts the most cookie-cutter promo that offers absolutely no direction and answers no questions about anything that has happened within the last 6 months. Nothing was addressed. Not even a smidgen of anything was addressed. The tensions between Balor and Dom, the relationship between Dom and the Americanos, and how he's using them and using their friendship more than he is the Judgment Day. How the Judgment Day have left Dominic abandoned on more than one occasion. How Roxanne Perez has moved in on Dom in the absence of Liv Morgan. How Roxanne Perez took Liv Morgan's spot, not only in the Judgment Day, but as Raquel's tag team partner. She was tag team champion with Raquel in Liv's absence. None of this was mentioned at all. All she did was insinuate she heard the Judgment Day is weak. The Judgment Day lost their gold. The Judgment Day is falling apart. From who did she hear that from? Did she hear that from Dom? Is that the angle that they're playing? Did Dominic tell Liv Morgan that? Which in turn she reiterated it to the Judgment Day without revealing she heard it from Dom. Or revealed that she was talking to Dom in private about what the Judgment Day is doing. WWE seems to be taking the absolute fucking longest road to get to where we need to go. Now, I understand that WWE might not want to give the answers away or any answers away right now when we got John Cena to worry about, and we got this show on December 13th, and he's going to be wrestling Gunther in his final match, and we got NXT on that show, and there's a bunch of other things that they're more concerned about. Now we got this January 5th show on Monday night. It's going to be a big show. They already announced Braun Breaker versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. They may be saving stuff for that. Give me something, man. You got to give me something. Give me some tension between Finn and Liv. Give me some tension between Liv and Roxanne. Give me something. They gave you nothing. This was one of the most uneventful promos that WWE could have sent Liv Morgan out there to cut. We all see where this is going. But don't act like this is another whatever week and we'll just wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. Bro, this woman came back, and you want me to believe that after 6 months, she doesn't know what the fuck is going on, what's been said. And you mean to tell me that she's all right looking at another female in Roxanne Perez who took her spot in the Judgment Day? They replaced her without even telling her. Why would she be okay? Unless this is Liv's way of getting back at the Judgment Day. Maybe Liv is going to be out for herself, and she's playing everybody for a fool. It would be funny to see that happen, but I think Finn Balor needs to act and act quickly. I don't think Liv, in this current situation, should be trusted. She's now coming in, and she's acting as the leader of the Judgment Day. Finn should take great offense to that. The Judgment Day should band together and realize that Dominic and Liv don't fit the morals of the Judgment Day anymore. That's the end goal here. The Judgment Day kicking out Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. When? Where will that happen? I don't know. Very confused by the ending of this show, which I don't want to jump ahead to. But Liv Morgan, she raised both Roxanne and Raquel's hands as they raised the tag team championships high in the air. I don't know what game they're going for. But Liv as a psychotic, vengeful female. That may be the road that they're taking here. I don't know. But it's just fucking weird how legitimately nothing was even said. Like that's unacceptable, bro. You gotta give me something. Now, what's gonna be the straw that breaks here? What's gonna be the moment in which the tensions now arise between Liv and the rest of the group? Who knows? I don't know. I thought that this was a very uneventful promo. Very uneventful. We got a great vignette showing Natalya and Maxine Dupree. Natalya putting Maxine Dupree through heavy training here and getting her back to where she needs to be. This showed Maxine taking a lot of punishment from Natalya in the dungeon, and this looked to be a revitalization of the Natty Neidhart. Not Natalya. Not the pink and black. This is like, I don't give a fuck Natalya. Natty. So, it looks like they're toughening up Maxine and getting her ready for what's to come with this Intercontinental Championship. And Natty may be getting a slight gimmick change, and they may be giving Natty the reins to go and show us who she really is here, which would be great. Because Natty, in this role, could be a breath of fresh air, not only for the women's division, but to herself. The Natalya of old is dead. She's gone nowhere. She is nothing more than an enhancement talent, and she doesn't really add any value to the division on screen. Now, this Natty character could be fun to see. And I think just because of the realism behind it, I think it could very quickly get over. So Natty may be looking at a winning formula here. And I'm very excited to see if they bring it to TV. They should. Adam Pearce is backstage. He asked one of the referees who was about to go out and referee the tag team title match. He pulls the referee in the back and said that he's heard reports of Seth walking around backstage at Survivor Series without a sling. He's not medically cleared, so I don't know exactly what's been said backstage. He said he wanted the ref to keep his ear to the ground and let him know what he hears and sees. Adam Pearce looked around like he was hoping nobody heard this private conversation, which wasn't really private because there was a cameraman filming this entire segment. So no matter who he was worried about finding out was listening to them, you had the entire world listening to you. Segments like that are really just silly. No, it's not Seth Rollins. They want you to think it's Seth Rollins, but it's not Seth Rollins. AJ Styles. Him and Dragon Lee are the tag team champions. They defended the titles against the New Day. This was actually a fun, spirited 9-minute tag team title match. Not bad at all, with a great ending. So the New Day jumped AJ Styles before the bell, and they double-teamed him. Dragon Lee got the tag and took Kofi Kingston down with a step-up Hurricane Rana. Dragon Lee then jumped over the ropes and snagged Xavier Woods with a Rana, sending him to the floor as well. We go into a commercial break. We come back from the break. AJ Styles got the hot tag, and he was taken out by the New Day. Now they're double-teaming AJ. Xavier held Styles open for a leg drop from Kofi Kingston, which connected and got a near fall. Xavier went for the boom drop, but Styles countered it into a sunset flip near fall. Styles locked in the calf crusher, and that was broken up. Kofi got a near fall with a roll-up while holding the tights. Styles sent Kingston into a sit-out powerbomb from Dragon Lee for a near fall. Lee and Kingston had a collision in the middle of the ring. Woods hit Styles with a super kick and then hung Lee up in the corner out to dry. Kofi then dove back in with a drop kick on Lee, and he goes for a cover. He gets a near fall. So Dragon Lee hit Kofi Kingston with a back elbow. Styles hung Kofi in the ropes, and Lee jumped off the top rope with a double stomp. Now, this was fucking great. So imagine Kofi Kingston just hanging stomach first over the top rope. Dragon Lee goes up for a double foot stomp, which connects. Kofi, off of the momentum of Dragon Lee jumping on his back, is propelled up into the air and flips into AJ Styles' grasp, perfectly into a Styles clash, which he delivered for a 1-2-3, and that was it. It was a short match. New Day was never going to beat these guys for the tag team titles. It was more just getting a match and a segment for TV. But man, that ending was fucking great. I don't know if that's going to be their finish, but that was a great fucking spot. You can't really do that with everybody. You're not going to be able to do that with the War Raiders. You're not. But that was a great spot. That was a great finish for this match. So AJ Styles and Dragon Lee retain the tag team championships. And it's becoming very apparent that Monday night's tag team division is absolutely fucking just dog shit. There's no competition. These guys, they want to defend the tag team titles and they want weekly competition. They've already gone through half of the division. There's nobody left but the War Raiders, who they then go up to Adam Pearce in the back after a successful match here with the New Day and want a defense again next week. They want to keep defending their championships. So Dragon Lee proposes, what about the War Raiders? Champions giving out title matches to teams that haven't been on television in a competitive way for the tag team titles in months. What are we doing here, man? You clearly have a glaring problem with your division if your champions have already gone through half of the fucking division in 2 weeks. Let's do better. How about that? That was a great finish. AJ Lee win and retain the titles. Jackie Redmond interviewed Stephanie Vaquer. Stephanie beats Nikki Bella at Survivor Series, whom we did not see on this show, thank Christ. Jackie asked Vaquer what message her win over Nikki Bella sends the rest of the locker room now. Stephanie said, if you betray her, you will get burned. Liv walked up to Stephanie, Liv Morgan, that is. Redmond, she turned away and left Liv and Stephanie to themselves. Liv said she just wanted to say hello and tell Stephanie that she's back. She congratulated her on winning the title, laughed, and walked away. Are we getting Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer next? I love to see Liv back into the title picture, but let's build her up first and get her into a serious role of contention. And not just hand out women's world championship matches just because of her being back and because she's Liv Morgan. Paul Heyman. He walks out with the vision. So we get them in the middle of the show here. Successful after their men's War Games victory. Heyman's in the ring. He wanted to give shout-outs to Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre. He called Brock Lesnar a beast and one of the most gifted athletes that he has ever known personally. He said it was a pleasure doing business with Drew. He put his arm around Reed. He gave a shout out to Bronson Reed. He tsunamied the entire field inside War Games. He touted that Logan Paul is the biggest mainstream star on the face of the planet today, who now perfectly fits with Paul Heyman's vision for the future of WWE. Heyman then revealed that on the first anniversary of Raw on Netflix, it was discussed between him and Adam Pearce. Braun Breaker will headline that show on January 5th, 2026 against CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. He said Punk will lose to Breaker. Fans loudly chanted for CM Punk. Breaker was a little bit upset, and he takes the microphone here and goes on to cut the promo of his entire career. Breaker says he's a little bit upset, and it's not because of the hooded guy or Batman, whoever was that jumped into the cage on Saturday to try and ruin his moment. He says he is disappointed with how easy it was to pin CM Punk. He said he thought he'd have to reach deep for a different level of athleticism to beat a guy who he heard so many stories about. He said it turned out that Punk is nothing but a soft-ass bitch. He said Punk is no different than any other veteran who has lived off their past glory. He got worked up and said Seth Rollins was a narcissistic piece of garbage holding everyone else down when he should be dealing with what is going on at home when his wife is a bigger star than he is. Fans again chanted for CM Punk. Breaker went on to say on January 5th, it'll be a different kind of fight. He says he tried to take his dream away. Punk tried to break his neck inside War Games with Cody. He yanked off his jacket and he starts yelling that he's going to ruin Punk's life. He's going to ruin his career. And he's going to ruin every good memory that everyone remembers CM Punk for. He says he didn't forget what Punk came up to him and said last year at WrestleMania. He went on to say, Punk told him, congratulations on all the success, kid. Let's see if you can cut a promo with the big dogs. Well, la-dee-da, consider that promo cut, he said. When he beats Punk, Punk will look at him and realize he is not even close to the badass Braun Breaker, the real best in the world. He slammed the mic down. Logan audibly yelled, damn. Heyman smiled from ear to ear, and the crowd was fucking pumped. He channeled every bit of his uncle Scott Steiner in this promo. And he fucking passed the test with flying colors. This was Braun Breaker's breakout promo. This was the promo that made everybody realize enough of the waiting around. Enough of WWE going with the tried and true CM Punk and Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes and Gunther and Jey Uso and all these other fucking guys. This was the moment that Braun Breaker, hopefully, sent a message to everybody, the doubters, the non-believers, Triple H, Bruce Pritchard, Michael Hayes, and everybody else on that fucking writing team who's not pitching Braun Breaker to win the World's Heavyweight Championship. Braun Breaker must win the World's Heavyweight Championship on January 5th. No ifs, ands, or buts. If they want to wait till then to reveal the masked man, whatever. Give me Braun Breaker as the new World's Heavyweight Champion. CM Punk then could be free and clear of this nonsense and go on to challenge for the real World Heavyweight Championship, the one that he didn't have to win because his arch nemesis got fucking hurt. CM Punk is better than a token title run. CM Punk is better than a secondary championship, which he was given and gifted because Rollins got hurt. It should have been Breaker all along. They didn't take the risk then. Now you're going to wait till January. To do what? What are you going to wait for? Why should CM Punk beat Braun Breaker on January 5th? To do what? To not be in the Rumble? To do what? Wrestle Breaker again at the Royal Rumble? To do what? Save it for WrestleMania? To do what? This match will be more predictable and this feud will be out of fucking gas by the time we get to WrestleMania. Do it now. There is much better for CM Punk and Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. This was a fantastic promo and the highlight of tonight's Raw. Jackie Redmond. She tried to chase down Jey Uso, who was leaving the building. He did not reply. She went after him again. She asked about Braun Breaker becoming the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. Jay says he doesn't give a damn about a Braun Breaker or a World Heavyweight Championship or anybody in the vision. He says there's a lot of people in his head and he needs to get them out. He said the only person to blame is the man looking back at him in the mirror. He said Roman Reigns was right. The titles would look best on Roman's shoulders, not mine. Again, I don't know what type of gimmick they're going for with Jey Uso, but apparently they want us to feel bad for him. I do not. Solo Sikoa. went one-on-one with Gunther. Do you know that people openly express on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, that they openly express Gunther is boring and Gunther can't wrestle and Gunther is overrated? Do you understand that there are people that fucking stupid that exist amongst us? I don't believe it. I don't believe how anything even remotely close to that could be uttered out of somebody's mouth. Gunther is one of those guys that absolutely, under no circumstances, never has a bad match. He goes in there and he is the type of guy that will work great with anybody. Big, small, NXT, main roster. It doesn't matter. Solo Sikoa. He's largely been overexposed. The MFTs are a fucking fail. Nobody cares. They look like a bunch of circus freaks who are about to embark in a feud against the Wyatt Six. It's going to be the Battle of Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey on Friday night. Man, I can't fucking wait to not give a shit about it. Solo's a heel. Gunther's a heel. A lot of people were concerned that this wasn't going to work out, that the dynamic wasn't going to be there between these two. Then we get Brian Alvarez last week saying that the plan all along was for Solo to beat Penta. If WWE legitimately thinks that we're that fucking stupid, that Solo would have been better off beating Penta than the other way around, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with them. Really. Believe it or not, this may have been Solo Sikoa's best match ever. Ever. Against Gunther. Gunther brought out Solo Sikoa to the best match of his entire fucking career. On the main roster. Man does miracle work, bro. Miracles. Miracles happened on Monday night. And Solo was over. This match was over. People were on their fucking feet for this shit. So we're into the second hour. Bell rings about 30 minutes into the second hour here. We got these two guys. They're battling. Nothing really happening. They go to a commercial break early on. Solo was in control after the break. Gunther threw some chops. He started making a comeback. He lifted Solo. Solo shifted his weight and landed right on top of Gunther, and he goes for a cover for a 2 count. Gunther landed a superplex. Both were down and very slow to get up. Solo and Gunther then exchange strikes back and forth. Solo took Gunther down with a big chop to the throat, and we go into another commercial break. Gunther caught Solo charging, and he clotheslined him down. Solo backdropped Gunther. Gunther followed that with a lariat. Gunther blocked a Solo Samoan spike, yanked on his thumb. Solo counters into a Samoan drop on Gunther. Solo then went for the spike again. Gunther chopped him over and over and over again in the corner until Solo's chest was beet red. Solo comes out of the corner after these vicious chops with they called it a spinning Solo. It looked more like a rock bottom, but he hit a modified spinning Solo here. He leapt off the top rope. Uso splash. He goes for a cover, and Gunther kicks out at a 2.5. Gunther ducked another Samoan spike, and he applied a sleeper on Solo Sikoa. Solo then pulled Gunther into the corner, and Solo is now trapped in the corner with Gunther locking in a sleeper hold. So Gunther is trying to pull Solo out of the corner, But in doing so, Solo pulls the turnbuckle pad off of the top turnbuckle, exposing the steel. So Gunther pulls Solo off the corner and rolls backwards. Gunther suplexes him. The referee completely disengages himself from the action to go and fix the turnbuckle pad. He completely forgets to call the match and goes and makes putting the turnbuckle pad back on the top turnbuckle a priority. So, with the referee's back turned here, Tala Tonga steps up to the ring apron. Gunther went after him at ringside. Tala kicked him. He then held Gunther, and Solo was about to deliver a Samoan spike with the assist from Tala Tonga. The referee sees this. He yells at Solo. He yells at Tala Tonga. Gunther then broke free with a big mule kick, and he low blows Tala Tonga. Back in the ring, Gunther gave Solo a low blow because he had the referee's back turned because he was out there yelling at Tala Tonga. So Gunther took the opportunity to now low blow Solo Sikoa. He then powerbombed Solo down, big time powerbomb, nice impact, flat back bump. He bounced off the mat, 1, 2, 3, and Gunther, he beats Solo Sikoa in a not so Gunther-like way. This was WWE's way of protecting Solo Sikoa. Solo did not, he did not lose clean. It was his own doing, and the referee was a fucking idiot, but Gunther clearly gave Solo a low blow behind the referee's back and won the match with the powerbomb. This was their way of protecting Solo. This was a great fucking match. For a heel versus heel match, this could not have gone any better. Gunther has now produced 3 of the best matches in this tournament. 3 of the best matches in this tournament all involve Gunther. Gunther versus Javon Evans, Gunther versus Carmelo Hayes, and Gunther versus Solo Sikoa. So when you see someone on TikTok, when you see someone on Instagram, and you see someone on Twitter complain to other fucking brainless idiots that Gunther is boring, that Gunther can't wrestle, that Gunther is overrated, and Gunther is this, and Gunther is that, you can tell them that JD from New York specifically told you to shut the fuck up. Send them that message. I will never stand for any Gunther slander. Ever. I don't give a fuck how predictable you think his matches are or how predictable this tournament was with him now in the finals against LA Knight and more than likely challenging John Cena in 2 weeks. Give me a fucking break. Excellent match. The best match of Solo Sikoa's career. And they went 19 minutes. The referee told Adam Pearce, this was Eddie Arango. He told Adam Pearce that no one apparently knows who the masked man was. So Adam Pearce says, oh, they're running with that narrative, huh? Okay. Styles and AJ Lee. AJ was not in the building. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee walked in. AJ Lee walked in and said he heard reports of Seth walking around without his sling. He's walking around with his arm not in the sling. Styles says that they want to defend the titles again next week. Dragon Lee says they want the War Raiders. Adam Pearce says they didn't get a rematch and they deserve it. He said the match is booked and I love fighting champions. Chat, let's go and look. Let's go and look at the War Raiders and the last time that they wrestled. Let's see. Raiders. We're on cagematch.net. We can't even look up the War Raiders, huh? Ivar War Raiders. I don't know where they are. Can I find them? not in the database, huh? This is crazy. I can't find them. Someone find out for me when the War Raiders' last WWE match was on Raw. Someone find it. Seemingly I can't find them on here. I would love to know. WWE Tag Team Championship. WWE World Heavyweight Tag Team Championship. Where are they? Women's Tag Team Championship. World Tag Team Championship. Let's see. I don't know. June 2nd, 2025, says David Rice. Look at David Rice coming in clutch here. June 2nd, 2025. Are you fucking kidding me? Chat, do they deserve a tag team title opportunity? It's December 2nd. Fucking ridiculous. Absolutely insane. David Rice deserves an Intercontinental Championship match for finding out that beautiful statistic. Just giving away fucking championship matches. Ridiculous. After the War Raiders chat, who's left? Who's left? Are we going to get a new team coming up from the ranks? Maybe they'll unbury the fucking creeds. Maybe they'll show up on Monday. They go over Raw next week. We'll see the winner of the Last Time Is Now tournament, Gunther. Rey Mysterio versus Finn Balor, and AJ Styles, Dragon Lee will defend against the War Raiders. Jackie Redmond interviewed Rey Mysterio, who called his son Dominic a bastard son. Rey hasn't ruled out a challenge to Dom's Intercontinental Championship. And then out from nowhere comes Logan Paul. He abuses Rey Mysterio. Says the IC title belongs to the Vision. Does it? It is squarely around the waist of Dominic Mysterio. So how is it property of the Vision? Paul promised to retire Rey. Rey slapped him in the face, and we get a big pull-apart brawl here with Logan Paul saying that he's going to retire Rey, that Rey is poor, and he is rich. Gotta love Logan Paul. He called Rey Mysterio, he's 6'3", and Logan Paul is 3'6". Tell you, man. Logan Paul fits in the Vision. Main event. Charlotte Flair and Io Sky. Or Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, rather, against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. As soon as this match started and we got the introductions, we went right into a commercial. 90 seconds. Typical WWE, 90 seconds into a match commercial. Rhea Ripley had Alexa Bliss locked in a submission hold. Bliss escaped. Rhea Ripley collided with Charlotte Flair and sent her to the floor. They played this off as an accidental bump. It was anything but accidental. Nor should it be accidental. I mean, a tag team championship is on the line here. Fuck it. There's no friends here. Io hit Bliss with a flapjack. Ripley and Flair got tags, and they are in the ring together, and we got this big match feel. This WrestleMania-like atmosphere. Not so much, but they had an excellent WrestleMania match. One of the best women's matches in company history. So they're in there. Crowd is clearly chanting for Rhea, but Charlotte's a babyface too, so they're definitely pro Charlotte too, but definitely Rhea Ripley, the hottest female in the entire division, maybe in all of women's wrestling. So Rhea Ripley gets a go behind here. Charlotte escaped with an elbow. They exchanged forearms. Flair went for some chops. She got the advantage. Ripley ducked a chop that was incoming, caught Flair with a headbutt. Flair sent Ripley into the turnbuckles. Ripley caught Flair with a kick. Both women went down. Now, there was a botch between these two that was coming up that looked really fucking bad. And I hope it's a case of someone was just off balance or lost their balance, and it wasn't Charlotte sandbagging Rhea Ripley. So Flair, we go into another commercial. Come back from the commercial. Flair sent Ripley out to the floor. Io caught her with a Meteora. Rhea Ripley comes back in and tried to powerbomb Charlotte, and they were in the corner. They were in Rhea's corner. Rhea tried to powerbomb Charlotte, but over-rotated, and both fell down. Now, Ripley picked her up again, tried the spot again, and gave her a crucifix bomb instead. Io was tagged back in and followed up with a top rope dropkick. Now, I don't know what had happened here. I'm going to chalk it up to maybe Rhea was off balance. Maybe something happened there. I hope to God that it wasn't Charlotte sandbagging Rhea Ripley. That would be awful. So Rhea Ripley went for a riptide. Flair countered with a DDT. Bliss got a tag. She hits a DDT on Rhea Ripley, who has a great sell on her DDT. She's great. She makes the DDT look brutal. So with Rhea Ripley down off 2 DDTs, Alexa went for Twisted Bliss. Ripley got the knees up. Flair and Io get tags. Flair put Sky down with the big boot. Natural selection. Bliss followed up with Sister Abigail, but Rhea Ripley broke up the pin attempt. So Bliss went after Rhea Ripley with forearms. Bliss tried for his Sister Abigail again, but Rhea Ripley escaped and hit a headbutt. Ripley hit the riptide. Io followed up with a moonsault. Flair broke up the pin attempt. And the way Flair broke up the pin attempt is Charlotte was in there trying to block any breakup of the pin, and Charlotte tackled Rhea Ripley onto the pinning predicament of Io and Alexa, and the pin was broken up. So everybody's down. The Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, run down, and they get into the ring and they attack everybody, which leads to a no contest. So the match ended with nobody winning. They ran out, attacked Charlotte, dumping her to the floor. They sent Rhea into the ring post, and they sent her to the floor. No winner was announced. No contest. All of a sudden, Lyra, Valkyria, and Bayley run into attack. And they go after the tag team champions. They go after Asuka and Kairi. Then the women from the Judgment Day ran in. Raquel and Roxanne and Liv. And they attacked everyone as well. Lyra was about to dive off a table. Liv Morgan yanked her down. In the ring, Raquel gave Asuka the Tejana bomb. And Roxanne hit Bayley with a Pop Rocks. Rodriguez and Perez grabbed the tag team title belts. Perez, trying to be a good little girl, handed the title to Liv Morgan because this was the original team. That makes sense. Roxanne's eyeing the Intercontinental title. She wants Liv to have the tag team title with Raquel because that was the original team. I like that. Roxanne should not be going after the tag team title. Roxanne should be going after the Intercontinental title. If they really want all the gold. That's exactly what needs to be done. So she handed the belt to Liv, and then Liv held up the hands of both Raquel and Roxanne with them holding up the tag team championships, and the Judgment Day stood tall to end the show. Again, this was anything but epic. This was a very safe, a very by-the-numbers Monday Night Raw that had a standout Gunther and Solo match and a Braun Breaker promo. That was really it. There's really nothing else to really write home about here. This was a decent Raw, but nothing really substantial happened as far as the fallout to Survivor Series. Everything is now just kind of focused on John Cena, December 13th. Hopefully something big happens there. I'm not really giving WWE the benefit of doing anything. They'll probably do paint-by-number stuff there, too. They don't really need to do anything. The show's sold out. Cena needs to wrestle, say goodbye, and that's it. They're not going to give you anything. I doubt we see anything big until the Royal Rumble. WWE will hype WrestleMania season. Everything's going to be great. And then not deliver on half of the promises that they make. But there's no PLE in December. So everything that you see from this point on, from now until December 13th, is going to be all about John Cena. After that, WWE is going to set up for what is going to be a huge Monday Night Raw on January 5th. But where have we heard that before? They promised last year's Raw on January 6th was going to be the start of WrestleMania season. And it was not. It was anything but. It was a very lame duck show. Are they going to come out swinging for the fences this year? Or are they going to let us down again? Every show seems to be like a build-up or a place setting for the next show. Nothing ever happens on these shows. We're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for something to happen on these shows, and nothing happens. And every show is used as a placemat for the next show. They pay off nothing. They pay off nothing. We wait so long, and then when we get a payoff, it doesn't really hit. I'm just tired of waiting. Just tired of waiting around and nothing happening on these shows. The WWE did focus on their tag team division, and it makes me wonder why WWE is now heavily focusing on their tag team division. We got Rhea and Io. We got Charlotte and Alexa. We got Lyra and Bayley. We got Roxanne and Raquel, or Liv and Raquel. We got 4 teams there. Nia and Lash Legend. It's 5 teams. There really isn't a lot of women's teams. WWE now, all of a sudden, is heavily focusing on their women's division and their tag team division. They've always focused on their women's division, but their tag team division now specifically. It makes me wonder what their motive is. Are they looking at what AEW is doing with their tag team division, set to crown new tag team champions over there, and is WWE trying to piggyback off what AEW is doing and want to show them up, signifying that they have a real tag team division, a better tag team division, and AEW does not? It's randomly all of a sudden. I felt more tension here between these ladies than I did all War Games build. It's funny how that works. Regardless, this was an okay Raw. Nothing epic about it, but Gunther, LA Knight, Friday. Gunther will wrestle John Cena on December 13th. And then WWE within the next 3 shows really needs to focus on which NXT talents are going to be showcased on December 13th. That's what is going to be a nice, exciting aspect about the weeks to come, or the shows to come. Thank you very much for all of your support. If you guys did enjoy tonight's stream, I would really appreciate you guys hit that thumbs up. Super chats are open. Get them on in. Let's start December off hot. We're going to read through them in just a second. Once again, tonight's sponsor, Blue Chew. BlueChew.com, code JD at checkout. All you guys need to do, pay the $5 shipping and handling. Make sure you guys go check them out. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Go check out all the great content on the channel. Remember, Tuesday Night Titans tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, episode 123. We got a lot to talk about. And leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of tonight's happenings on Monday Night Raw. Michael Krause starts us off with a $2 super chat. JD, OTS, how's everyone today? Let's go. Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Baltimore Jackson with the $4.99. What's up, my brother from another mother? Much love to the OTS family. OTS for life. Thank you, Baltimore Jackson. Johnny Boy Vaccaro with a $20 super chat. Ivy Nile appears out of nowhere and wants a title match, even without wrestling for months. I'm convinced Triple H and his writing team see the women's division just like the way the Saudis see women. Irrelevant props for the world. Bro, Ivy Nile does not belong anywhere near a championship title match. The last time she wrestled was June 10th. Baltimore Jackson, $1.99. I'm sick of the New Day. Move these clowns to SmackDown. They absolutely need a move to SmackDown. In fact, merge the divisions. In a perfect world, chat, I would hope that AJ Styles and Dragon Lee beat everybody on Raw and then start looking towards SmackDown to defend the tag team championships. And then maybe on that fabled night, maybe we'll get the decision to merge the tag team divisions and merge the tag team titles and create one singular title. And AJ Styles and Dragon Lee would wrestle anybody and everybody in the division until they come to the tag team champions on Friday night, and they will defend against them. I hope. One could dream, right? Baltimore Jackson with a $4.99. Braun Breaker cut the promo of his life. I wouldn't want to be nowhere near him right now. The guy's a menace. I fear for my life. His eyes were cold. It's a great promo. If you guys are not a member of the chat and I see you say Gunther is overrated, you are banned for 24 hours. Goodbye. J Menace. Goodbye. He's gone. Now you're timed out for 24 hours, bro. You can't chat with us until Wednesday night. Thanks for coming. What did I tell you? Does anybody listen to me when I speak? If there is any Gunther slander, you are out of here. Goodbye. Michelle Moran with a $5 super chat. Want to mess with the fans? Braun beats Punk on January 5th. Punk wins the Elimination Chamber and faces Breaker at WrestleMania. Seth gets revenge on Breaker by costing him the belt at WrestleMania. No. Michelle with a 2. By far, not an epic. Raw, Triple H is booking for himself. I don't know who Triple H is booking for. Certainly not the fucking fans. Adam General, who's this? Badge General? People can't have opinions? No, that's not an opinion. That's fucking stupidity. That's not an opinion. Johnny Boy with a $20 or $10 super chat. Gunther doesn't have bad matches, and he led Solo to have the best match of his career. Fuck all the Gunther haters. The low blow to Solo is hilarious and proves he is the best in the business. Gunther and John Cena are going to turn out. Again, Gunther does not have bad matches. Twister $9.99. An okay show tonight, but was it epic? No, it wasn't. Once again, we got scammed. Bro, it's just one of those things where if you listen to Tony Khan speak, just don't. Don't believe a word out of his mouth and don't believe a word out of Triple H's mouth. They're both con artists. Lenin Jimenez with a $20 in Mexican pesos. That fucking promo from Braun Breaker gave me chills. This is a great promo. I don't know if it gave me chills, but it was a great promo. Also with a 20, Lennon says, Raw equals mid. Braun Breaker's promo is epic. Well, I mean, 2 minutes of an epic promo does not make a epic Raw. Baltimore Jackson with a $4.99. This guy's getting out. This guy's just benched. Get out of here. Tyler slopping Gunther up. Yeah, goodbye. Goodbye, bitch. Goodbye. Goodbye. Go slop up your fucking indie athletic gymnasts on Wednesday night. Get the fuck out of my chat. Fucking ridiculous. Baltimore Jackson with the $4.99. I enjoy the scramble at the end. It just shows WWE's got tag teams, but doesn't know how to use and book them. I've seen 5 out of 6 teams out there, and the NXT call-ups are needed. Tony Brown with a $4.99. Ain't no denying Alexa, Liv, and Roxanne are absolute babes. Bro, Roxanne and Liv are fucking smoke shows, bro. Tanmay, 71 months. Fucking Tanmay, bro. Unbelievable. Longest running member of the OTS VIP club is Tanmay. Joseph King with 46 months. Hey, JD, I was wondering in AEW, why does Okada have 3 belts? I think Jay White, whenever he returns, should be the one to take those belts off of him. Bro, you're asking a question I wish I had the answer to. I don't know. I have no idea. Joseph King, thank you, brother. Real Zero Kaiba with 43 months. There's no way this is the epic Raw Triple H was talking about. Braun Breaker's promo was epic. Sullivan's Gunther was good. That's about it. This was not epic. Triple H has a different version of epic than we do. Mike with a 43 months. Mike 44. Tonight Raw wasn't epic, but better than the pay-per-view. Liv return gave women's division a boost for Raw. SmackDown is cooked. Hardy Punk with a $2 super chat. Heyman guys cracks voice. Dom girls crack wieners. Joey Taylor with $5 super chat. Raw 5 out of 10. And when you see Jesse Wednesday, tell him I'm sorry about his Minnesota Vikings. I kind of jinxed them. Well, you can tell him yourself, Joey. Sim3111 with a new membership. Sim. What the fuck are we sipping, Sim? Andrew Cool with a $1.99. It seems like TNA will be on AMC January 15th, 2026 on X. I saw. Unfortunately, it's a Thursday, so they will not be going head-to-head with AEW Dynamite on Wednesday. DJ55 with a $4.99. JD, please choose for each. Underrated, underappreciated, and overrated. JD McDonough, Dragon Lee, and the Usos as singles competitors. Love them, though. Underrated Dragon Lee, underappreciated JD McDonough, and overrated, I would use Jey Uso in that sense. I think Jimmy is a better wrestler than Jey. Baltimore Jackson with a $1.99. I prefer Cody title to go to Drew McIntyre, no Roman. Ethan Nelson with a $4.99. Flipping it makes it better. Punk versus Cody, Braun versus Roman. Again, I did mention that earlier. Either way you go about it, I like that. Emoji Matt with a $5 super chat. Why is Arnold making decisions? Because he is the Determinator. Ethan Nelson with a $4.99. WWE does better when their backs are against the wall and threatened. This is why AEW needs to be better. It's one of the aspects of why WWE plays it so safe, because they know they have no competition in AEW. They know that they have literally nothing to worry about. AEW is killing themselves. Emoji Matt with a $5 super chat. Why did the football coach go to the bank to get his quarterback? Emoji Matt with a 5. Why did the chicken go to the bank to get his buck? El Garave 007 with a $9.99. Hey, JD, in my opinion, have Braun win, run Punk versus Cody at Mania as Punk wins the Chamber in Chicago, have Roman win the Rumble, Roman versus Breaker at Mania for the World's Heavyweight title, Braun goes over. All depends on if Rollins is going to be back. Rollins is trying to be optimistic and is eyeing a February return. That is if all goes well. Soma BT with a membership here. Thank you, Soma. You are definitely a member, not a new member. You are definitely a member, as I see your gold microphone there. Emoji Matt with a 5. When potatoes have kids, what are they called? Tater tots. Emoji Matt with a 2. Where does the carrot go to drink? The salad bar. Matt, I don't know where you went to comedy school, bro. It ain't hitting tonight. It ain't hitting. Dalton Meister with a 5. Well, at least we don't have to sit through Jay versus Gunther again. Chances LA Knight moves on to face Xena Warrior Princess. Cena. Chances LA Knight moves on to wrestle Cena. 0. There's not a chance in hell. Riley with a $4.99. I think Jay and WWE has to be rage baiting the IWC by running it back every week at this point. Jason Bark with a 5. TNA looks to have finally obtained their TV deal. AMC on January 15th, 2026. That's a Thursday. Good for them. Triple M, $2 super chat. Will you be on for Renegades? I will. I don't know how long I'll be on. I got errands to run tomorrow, but I'm hoping it's not boring either. A Watson with a 42 months. Thank you, A Watson. I appreciate you, bro. How you doing, my brother JD? Number one wrestling podcast on the planet. I'm having coffee here in my area at 7:30 a.m. Cheers from the Middle East. Well, thank you, brother. Thank you for being here. Coffee, no matter where you are in the world, bro, is always the best part of the day. The Crazy Man 88 with the $2 super chat. Iron Survivor instead of 5-on-5 bullshit at Survivor Series next year. That may need to fill the role for now. That may need to fill the role. I would not mind that. Come on, 91 with a 199. No message. Furious Nation with a 999. What's up, JD? Raw tonight wasn't epic, but it was good in my opinion. I'm glad WWE and Triple H had LA Knight beat Jey Uso tonight, and it was the right call. Rikishi can go cry and complain all he wants. Does he still do that? David Rice Alex with a $20 super chat. What's up, brother? You have to give WWE credit. The main event is a good first step to reestablishing the women's tag team division. I mean, listen, there's a lot of talented names in that division. There's a lot of talented women teaming together to make those teams. But there's only so many to go around before it starts to get repetitive. What's the ultimate goal here? I don't know. I'm sure whatever they're planning is coming to a head on January 5th. They'll probably do some big-time tag team title match there, whether it's a triple threat or a fatal four-way or a gauntlet match. Furious Nation with a $9.99. Also, 100% agree. No Gunther slander allowed. I saw Grimm's Toy Show the other day tweet out that Jay should have won the tournament instead of Gunther because of Gunther Cena having no history. Well, if they wanted somebody with history, then Dragunov should have been in the tournament to wrestle Gunther in the finals. Nobody wants to see Jay and Gunther and Jay versus Cena. Nobody. Jay Taylor, $75.99. What's up, JD? 21 months. In a perfect world, how would you book WrestleMania this upcoming year? Hashtag OTS for life. I don't know, man. It's still way too early. All I know is I'm hoping for a Cody and Punk WrestleMania match. WWE's got a couple of options. They could go Cody Randy. They could go Punk Roman. They could go Seth Braun, Gunther Lesnar. They could go Bianca Jade. They could go Stephanie Rhea. Liv versus Roxanne. Liv and Dom versus Roxanne and Finn. Couple of options. Furious Nation with a $4.99. 17 years ago, Santino tried Melina's entrance. I do not remember that, and I'm glad I don't. Soma BT with a $5 super chat. I didn't even know AJ Styles and Dragon Lee were even a tag team until tonight. Keep up the great work, JD. Yeah. They're a great team. They're not a real team, but they're a great team, and they work very good together. Alan Alec with a $5 super chat. When do you think we'll finally get Randy and Cody? Talk about amazing WrestleMania build. 20-year history between them. Definitely main event worthy for a Mania. Bro, we may get it this year. We may get it at WrestleMania in Vegas. It's also on the table. Anything but Cody and Roman. Like I said before, the only way that works is if Cody goes heel. You can't run that match back, and it's actually disrespectful in the most highest of ways if they do. Because you cannot dirty what you did at 40. There's literally no follow-up to that. Unless Cody sells his soul. Italian Stallion with a $7.99. Thank you, JD, for all your hard work. Absolutely love the channel. Watch every day. Cheers, mate. Happy member. Listen, brother, you're good. Appreciate you being here. Venom Supreme with a 45 months. War Games was ass. Raw was mid with a few sparks. I still listen to you and Solid Monster before watching Raw and SmackDown. Jason and I appreciate that. We will never steer you wrong, ever. Rob Rivern with a 50 in Super Chat. Much respect, JD, for cutting that intro. Thank you. Yeah, it's not coming back. The intro is not coming back, guys. I just got to record some lines, and then we're going to get a new one made. I just don't know what to say yet. I want to keep the long-term booking aspect of the intro. I just don't know how to word it. Lynn Clone with a $4.99. JD, what do you think happens first? LA Knight wins the World Heavyweight Championship or Jey Uso turns heel? Jey Uso turns heel. And Furious Nation with a $9.99. If you want to start 2026 off right after an awful 2025, you do so by crowning Braun Breaker in Brooklyn on 1/5/26. No ifs, ands, or buts. I agree. Braun Breaker needs to win the World Heavyweight Championship in 1 month's time. Thank you guys for a great stream tonight. We're about to get out of here. I got kittens to feed. You guys are great. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Go and check out all the content on the channel. And if you guys want the short form content, we uploaded on the second channel today. So go check that out, with more coming tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we'll be live with The Monster. Episode 123 of Tuesday Night Titans. We will be burying Survivor Series, and it should be a great listen. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of tonight's Monday Night Raw. What'd you like, what you didn't like? Hit that thumbs up down below. And thank you guys for the super chat love. Let's start December off the right way, man. The only way we know how, right here on Off the Script. Again, thank you, and I will see you guys live tomorrow night with the Solid Monster for Tuesday Night Titans. Until then, I'll see you guys later.